Yo, what's up, bro? So, today is the 1st of December, which is my birthday. And here we are, another year down the line, another level up. Today is a kind of special day, but also to me, it's just another day. And it's really interesting because from last year, when I posted on my birthday and I spoke about the things that I did, I remember also talking distinctly about overcoming insecurities. And one of the things that has hit me this year in particular is I no longer look at days as like special hallmarks, right? Well, they kind of are and they kind of aren't. So this year in particular for me, I've been more focused on developing my strengths and building myself up, building up my skills, building up my resources, and making things happen. One thing that really resonated with me was like I planned a lot, I put a lot of things in place, but I also did a fair amount of execution. I hit a lot of um, points where I felt resistance, but I also developed on them and learned how to overcome them. And there- there's my background. There's my reflection, boy. But yeah, I I basically I surprised myself this year, and I just wanted to share this little like impromptu vlog with you, just to show you just exactly what you can achieve, even when you put like 5% of your thinking space towards it. Because I didn't like me personally. I will be completely honest. There were loads of times where I just like completely eased off the gas when I knew I could have given more, I should have given more. It's only in the last like 4 months or so of this year that I really started to work on, hitting the gas, really being proactive with my moves, really like pushing with my goals. Like this channel is one of them, right? This channel is something that I've been working on for a while, and I just lay off the gas because again, I was going into the whole concept of imposter syndrome and, you know, is it right? Should I? Shouldn't I? Waiting for the perfect moment. Then I realized there is no such thing. You just have to keep pushing through. You have to keep fighting back the intrusive thoughts. And that's what this year was mainly about. Also, I crossed the pond for the first time. I actually left the UK and traveled to the United States, which was a big move for me, especially because some of my oldest friends I met online, and I've known them since we were like 13, 14. And I managed to cross the pond to make it for one of my good friends' weddings. And I also got to meet the rest of the group. So, one thing that we will talk about with self development, or me personally, I say video games aren't exactly the best way to spend your time, but there are random moments where you can meet some real gems of people, okay? And that's the thing that I want to share about the journey in life. It's not all about just eliminate things for the sake of it, or because like Hamza said, or because, Dre said, or even something that I say, right? It's not about, yeah, just do it just because we've said so. You have your own individual experience. And in my individual experience, I met some friends that I've made for life through gaming. Granted, it was a different time back then, but nevertheless, you never know when you're going to meet, that special someone or special some people because they hold special points in our lives. But for myself, this year has been pretty extraordinary. Like, I have started to shape up a lot more with my physicality. I've like really started to dial into what I needed to do. This year was a lot about listening to the right advice and also being ready to receive it. I always envisioned myself being a strong, capable leader, being somebody who leads with their actions and leads from the front. And I've started to take those steps to being the best version of myself this year. Instead of pushing more into a cut, for example, like I always thought I needed to do, I went into, did I say a cut? I meant a bulk. Instead of pushing into a bulk, I moved into a cut. And the cutting phase right now is pretty horrible, not gonna lie. My mood's all over the place. I mean, in all fairness, today being my birthday, I kind of like I said to my coaches, I was like, listen, Kyle, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna eat and I'm gonna have a good time. And he was like, yep, go ahead, just do it intelligently. And so I did. But the cut has like really been affecting my mood. It's been affecting my energy. But the thing that I'm so proud about is when I look back on how I used to behave, how I used to live. You know, I push through now. Whereas younger me would have said, oh, it's too cold, let me stay in bed. Oh, I feel sore, I don't want to do it anymore. And I started to really cultivate that attitude this year. Another thing is, I'm part of an accountability group, which before I used to think was lame, but now I realize things like that are so, so important. They are actually all that much more important for us young men. We need to hold each other accountable. We need to steer each other. And that's something that I'm going to do a lot more of for myself and for all of you who are watching and for everyone who is concerned. This is something that will help us drive forward, you know, identify our purpose. We share what's happening in our lives. We move forward and achieve goals. That's what it's all about. And so for myself, it was so refreshing to see that different element come through. And, you know, this year it was like the things that I was dreaming about, the things that I had dreamt about for so long, they started to come to fruition. Like physically, I'm starting to sculpt my body. Mentally, I'm taking on that more like adult persona, right? Because like even in the army, even in the army, I was just basically like a kid, right? I was just like another kid, just going through the motions of being in the military. But now I'm starting to come into myself and really feel that sense of adulthood coming about. And it's honestly something so there's something so calming and reassuring that you've got this in life. And I feel like the day that I do meet someone, or even when I'm ready to start a family of my own, being more in that energy will be so reassuring to the people around me and to the family that I will build, because there's just something so attractive about being a man with a purpose and having a sense of what's going on in their life. You know, at least to me, that's the way that I envision myself, like coming across to like women or even like business partners, right? Just when people look at me, they're like, okay, this guy knows what he's doing. Like he knows what he's about. And another thing is, I've started to find more elements that really mesh with my purpose, such as becoming a personal trainer, being a yoga instructor. I tap into spirituality, but on a level that has to do with just improving yourself. Okay, it's not like becoming a tree hugging, man bun wearing, yoga pants, like rocking hippie. Nothing like that. You can still be a spiritual being, but also have like the ability to just live like a modern person. All right, and that's another thing. Being able to distinguish between these points, it's so important. It gives clarity, and it really helps like break the the constructs that people get put into. So yeah, it's kind of like this vlog is all over the place. But this year has been a very, very transformational year for me, and I'm really looking forward to what the next year brings. I myself personally have a lot to give, and I've realized that now. Not only, I mean, I feel like I've always known that, but more importantly, I'm ready to listen and take action on the points that need to be acted on in order to get that. And I'm just so grateful for everybody that's supported me throughout my journey. I'm looking forward to growing. I'm looking forward to sharing my knowledge. I'm looking forward to sharing my experiences. And I'm looking forward to helping you in whichever way I can. feel like that's my purpose. That's why I'm here on this earth. That's why I'm doing these videos. That's why I'm starting everything up again. You know, one thing my mom told me was like my name, right? So my name Sravan, in Sanskrit it actually means the one who carries out the will of God. And I remember, well, I don't remember this, but like I remember the conversation where my mom said when I was 1 year old, or when I was 1 year old even, we traveled to India, and the Brahmin is like a priest, right? And he saw me. He was like asking, "Oh, what's my name, etc." And you know, my mum said, "Oh, his name's Sravan Alopi," and he was like, "Oh, no, no, no," because Sravan is a very like sacred name, according to the scriptures of the Ramayana, which is basically like the Hindu Bible, right? And he said, "No, no, your boy cannot be just Sravan Alopi. He is Sravan Kumar." And the character in the Ramayana who was named Sravan Kumar was the guy who basically looked after his parents, right? But on a higher level, he took care of people around him, the people that he cared for the most. He carried out a sense of duty. He fulfilled his duty as a son. And when we bring this to like all the pro masculine self improvement coaches out there, they all have a sense of duty and a sense of like honor, a code of honor to keep up. And I feel deep down within that is my purpose. And that's something that I really look forward to pushing more into, delving into, and sharing. So, yeah, that's just a little bit I wanted to share. It's kind of all over the place, but I felt like it needed to be shared. So, that's it. 29, don't feel 29. It's kind of weird, right? I just don't really feel my age. I've never really felt my age, to be fair. I've always felt like physically I'm younger than I am, but mentally I'm also older. Maybe it's a good thing, maybe it's a bad thing, I don't know. Comment down below what you guys think. In any case, I'm off to go do some editing, so here's to many more, guys. Thank you for all your support. SK out.